Sit, Coco, sit. Good dog. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Retail Archaeology. Today we'll be taking a look at Paradise Valley Mall in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, this is one of my favorite malls, and I've covered it a few times on the channel throughout the years. And throughout those years, this mall has gotten to the point where it has officially become a dead mall. One of the reasons this is my favorite mall is just because of the unique entryways. This entire mall is unique. I've never really seen another one like it. This mall opened in 1978 and was developed and originally owned by Westcor until 2002, when it became part of the Macerich Company's portfolio. The last time I was at this mall was in December 2020 to capture some footage of the Christmas decorations for a Christmas video I was working on. The footage we're looking at now was filmed in February 2021, and I can't believe how much worse this mall has gotten even in just those couple of months. It turns out, though, this was actually planned. Macerich has labeled this property as a redevelopment property for a long time, and from what I understand, a while back they stopped renewing leases as they expired. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to cover this mall in a new video, is kind of share some of the updated news on this place. In December 2020, redevelopment plans were submitted to the city of Phoenix for approval, and in February of 2021, those plans were approved. So this mall's days are officially numbered. There's the old Sears. That closed in January of 2019. See what I mean about unique, though? I love the ceilings and skylights in this place. They might be my favorite in any mall. Another reason why I enjoy this mall so much is when I was a kid, I had an aunt and uncle that lived in Paradise Valley. So I did used to occasionally visit this mall when I was a kid. And besides the floors, not a ton of it has changed. There has been things added, though, over the years. This is the quietest I've ever seen this mall, though. This right here is an old Pacific Sunwear. I'm not sure how long that's been closed, but it's been a while. Let's take a quick look at the map, and you can see there's a Costco, Dillard's, JCPenney, Macy's, and a blank spot listed. The blank spot was the Sears. The Dillard's, however, is now closed, and the Macy's is in the process of closing, so that leaves the Costco, which isn't attached to the mall, and the JCPenney left. I will warn you, throughout the video you're going to see a gratuitous amount of skylight shots, and no, I'm not going to apologize for it. There's a weird thing to see in a mall, a mortgage company. This was filmed on a Sunday afternoon, just a few days after the announcement was made that the redevelopment plans were approved, and a lot of the people that were walking around, we kind of overheard their conversations, and they were all talking about the redevelopment and how they were sad that this mall is going to go away. And that is the case. I've seen the planned renderings and everything of what the redevelopment's going to look like, and it's going to look vastly different than this. I'm not sure how much of the original mall is going to be left. I don't think any of it. From what I read, the redevelopment process could start as early as this spring with the old Sears building being demolished. They're planning on building residential apartments there, from what I read. That's the plan for this whole area, is what they call a lifestyle center, which is mixed-use residential and retail. There'll be restaurants and offices and things like that as well. Paradise Valley Mall, though, Paradise Valley Mall as we know it, will cease to exist. I wanted to capture as much of this mall as I could during this filming trip because there's a chance that this mall could just close entirely very soon. With the rumors that they want to start the redevelopment process in the spring, and with as many empty storefronts as there are now, I imagine at any point they could just announce that they're going to close in the next 30 days, kind of similar to how quickly Metro Center Mall closed. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to capture as much of this place while it was breathing its last gasps, I guess. We're coming up to the Dillards, and this is now closed, this Dillard's location. I think the day that we were filming, they were still doing their clearance sale, but they had closed the entrance from the mall into the Dillards. There's not really much left down here either. There are a few things left down this corridor. There's the watch repair place with the really cool neon sign, and there's also the Chompies. However, the Chompies will be closing very soon and moving to a new, bigger location. And then you've got a barber shop and Easy Relax, because it seems like every dead mall has an Easy Relax or something like that. It's really down at the ends of the corridors where the mall gets really quiet. Here's an old indoor playground, and that is really depressing. As is this whole wing pretty much. No kids around to ride this merry-go-round. Next evolution, environment for success. I wouldn't call this place an environment for success. That is really just a very odd thing to see in a dead mall. Lots of cheery advertising artwork there. You'll notice nobody looks that excited to be in here. Looks like this place has moved, and there's still some Christmas stuff hanging out in there. I've always liked that storefront. I don't know what that was, but that's very unique. With this faux stonework and the wood doors. And here's the Macy's, which is currently having its liquidation sale. If you missed last week's video, we took a closer look at Macy's, and this store in particular. There's still a Fuzzywigs here. Those are one of the things that always seem to leave dead malls last, at least locally here in the Phoenix area. Down this quiet, kind of darkish corridor is the food court. and we were shocked when we rounded the corner. I mean, I expected it to be dead and quiet, but wow, like I've said before, usually even in dead malls, the food courts have a little bit of life, but even the monitors that are hanging around have various colored screens of death going on, and there is only one place left open. And it's a little independent mom and pop place. This makes me sad to see, because the food court at this mall is one of the areas where I have the fondest memories. Now, I know it's been remodeled a little bit since I was a kid, but when I was a kid, there was this weird thing here that I want to say it was called like World of Nintendo or something like that, but there was like a ton of Nintendo NES demo units set up and monitors and everything, and there were some counters where you could buy Nintendo games and Game Boy games, I think. It was really cool. And here's the old little fountain that was here. It's been dead for a while, but surprisingly there's still some really old dusty money in there. Fortunately, there is footage in my older videos of this mall with that fountain working. And that monitor might have my favorite colored screen of death, the purple kind of magenta screen of death. Now, while we were here, we of course had to get something in the food court, and that place happened to have pizza among a lot of other things. So Mark and I decided to have what was probably going to be our last meal in this mall pizza, and Mark got some mac and cheese as well. I'm not going to lie, it was not the best mall pizza I've ever had before, but it was mall pizza nonetheless, and like I said, probably the last slice that I'll have in this mall. I'm kind of hoping that when this mall closes, they have a fixture auction and I can get in here again with it closed and really take a close look at everything. Similar to like I did with Metro Center Mall. There's the old picture show movie theater. That unfortunately closed permanently in December of 2020. I believe that was an old Dairy Queen Orange Julius stand, I think, and then this was of course an old Wetzel's Pretzel. Pretty sure that was one of the last things to close in the food court. Looks like there's just one group of mall walkers hanging out in the food court. You know, I never really noticed the starlight, the little twinkly lights up there in the ceiling. I guess it's dark enough here now to notice it. Here is the Coca-Cola carousel. I believe this was added in 1998. And it is the only heavily branded carousel like that I think I've ever seen. You'll see there's Coca-Cola stuff everywhere. Now, fortunately, this carousel has been closed since the pandemic started, and I think at this point it's probably never going to run again. Although it is possible that maybe they save this for the redevelopment. That would be interesting. Of course, there's got to be a Coca-Cola machine right next to the Coca-Cola carousel. Let's take a quick trip outside. And you can see the branding even carries on out here. There's a sign for the Coca-Cola carousel. Such an odd thing. There's also a nice, shaded, very green seating area out here. Never really paid too much attention to this before, but again, I wanted to, film as much of this place as I could while I was here. You can see there's a large parking garage right across the way there, and that's actually where the security office is for this mall. I wonder if that's going to stay. I'm curious about what will happen with this statue after the redevelopment. Years ago, it used to reside in the mall, and I'll put a picture of that here. It was moved out here after one of the renovations. Surprised they didn't put a big old Coca-Cola logo there at the top of that. Let's take one last look at the Coca-Cola carousel from this side. I was just thinking about it. If you want, go ahead and rewind this whole segment and you can play a drinking game and take a drink every time I say Coca-Cola carousel. You'll probably be passed out by the time we get back into the food court. We overheard somebody talking about the stained glass windows and saying that they heard these were going to somehow be saved. So I got to find out more information on that. And something else I've got to find out more information on are these old charity tiles that are throughout the food court. It looks like these were for some sort of charity drive in 1988 or 89, and somehow the old radio station Y95 was involved because there's a lot of tiles mentioning them. But I can't figure out what they were actually trying to raise money for. I would love to be able to film all of the tiles just to capture them all, because I don't know what's going to happen to these when they knock this place down. If you happen to know what these were raising money for, these tiles, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to know, because I've been trying to figure it out and I still haven't been able to figure it out completely. Also, if you happen to see your name in any of these tiles, or you have a tile here, please let me know, because I'll go try and film it. You can see there's another reference to Y95. Thanks Y95 for Bon Jovi. That tells you how old these tiles are. Radical detail in Y95. See what I mean? There's a lot of references to Y95. Gene and Bill, 1988. And Jason Rearley, June 1988. Mayor Terry Goddard, there's an interesting one. Did you guys know CC sang for the Pope? Oh, somebody got one for their 14th birthday. I know it seems like I'm capturing them all here, like Chrissy Misker, the graduate from 1988, but there's really so many more. Oh look, we found Waldo. But here's one last look at the food court at Paradise Valley Mall. I've always liked that "You Are Lovely" storefront there. Here's something I've been seeing pop up in dead malls and malls that are doing well, these little karaoke booths. I've never seen anybody using them before, though. I'd love to know if you can hear anything from the outside. There's really not much left down here besides the karaoke booths. Tupac? What year is it? But yes, the Spencer's is still open, however the KB Toys is not. And something creepy happened when I went to go film the KB Toys. I'll just bring the sound up here in the mall. Yeah, right when I went to start filming it, the freaking kid laughter track on those rides started going. That was weird. Oh, there's still an Auntie Anne's here, so there's still one pretzel place left. And here is the JCPenney and the mall's play place. Now, the JCPenney has not announced that it's going to close, and JCPenney actually owns that building, so I'm wondering if they're going to try and keep it open and kind of detach it from the mall, similar to what they did at the El Con Center, which is a place I've previously covered on this channel. That is one of my favorite anchor entryways, though. I love the tile. But, you know, besides the JCPenney, there really isn't much left down here either. The play place is still closed due to the pandemic, which means I can actually film it because there's no kids in it. I have to be honest with you, I really never understood this type of equipment in mall play places. None of it looks very fun. And it all looks kind of slippery and like it would be real easy to like just, you know, slip and fall and smash your face on something. But, you know, pre-pandemic times, even at dead malls, a lot of times there would be tons of kids at the play place. I think parents would just use it as like a free air-conditioned park. And even though it's indoors, you still get a little bit of natural light there. Much like the Coca-Cola carousel, take a drink, over in the food court, I'm not sure if children will ever play on this play place ever again. Do you guys remember Things Remembered? Here's one of their old stores. It's kind of neat that there's still a little bit of a mosaic there with their logo in the tile. I noticed in a lot of my previous videos on this place that this is always the corridor that I start with, and I think it's because of what used to be down here. This spot right here used to be the fortune teller, and it was all decorated in like ancient Egypt motif. It looks like she knew about this place going away before anybody else did because she got out. And I always liked this too, elevated aesthetics. But it looks like they're selling the wall unit there. Also down this corridor is one of the saddest arcades at a mall I've ever seen. I think this used to be an old jewelry store maybe, and then it was converted to this. And you can tell times are tough here because not only are most of the games, you know, skill cranes and things like that, but the prizes in them aren't great. Some of them even look kind of empty, including this seizure-inducing one here. Not giving you very much of a reason to play it. And of course you've got the obligatory driving game, but of course one of the cabinets is out of order. Yeah, this is just super depressing. It would be better if this was just empty. If they had just like walled this corner off. This used to be a really popular mall in the Phoenix area. And I used to love coming here, and I even still do, even though it's a dead mall. It is one of my favorite dead malls to visit. But it looks like it definitely is on its last leg, and it is officially a dead mall walking. I don't think that information desk has been occupied for a while. I've always been curious what is behind this. It obviously was an old storefront, but they put these walls up with these display windows, and this one won't be relevant for much longer since the Macy's is closing. But hopefully, when this place closes, there's a fixture auction like Metro Center, and I can kind of get into the nooks and crannies of this place. It really is a shame to see this place go. This is the third mall in the Phoenix area that I've started covering when I started my channel and is now going to be closing permanently. Fiesta Mall was the first, and then Metro Center, and now this one. What are your memories of Paradise Valley Mall, though? Is this a mall that you used to come to as a kid? Do you have any nostalgia for it? I know a lot of the people that were walking around the mall at the day that we were here filming seemed to have a lot of nostalgia for it. And this probably will be the last video that I do covering Paradise Valley Mall until, it closes and maybe I'm somehow able to get in during a fixture auction or something. Yeah, but it's kind of weird to think this might be the last time that I walk out of this place while it's still open for business. But I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Paradise Valley Mall. As always, everyone, thanks for watching. Want to see your name here? Head on over to patreon.com/Retail Archaeology to find out how you can help support the channel. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my update video on Paradise Valley Mall. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and also don't forget to follow at the social media links down there because that's the best way to keep up with what's going on with the channel.